வணக்கம் நண்பர்களே, இது உங்கள் வீரவ பழனிசாமி. நம்ம சிவில் சர்வீஸ் எக்ஸாம் இன்டர்வியூ டிரான்ஸ்கிரிப்ட் பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கோம். 2024 25ஓட டிரான்ஸ்கிரிப்ட். அண்ட் சரி பார்க்கலாம், அந்த கேண்டிடேட்டோட கொஸ்டின்ஸ் என்னென்னு பார்க்கலாம். அண்ட் டேட் ஆஃப் இன்டர்வியூ தட் இஸ் 11/2/2025. அண்ட் போர்டு ஸ்ரீ ஷீல்வர்தன் சிங். ஆஃப்டர்நூன் செஷன் 4th to go. DF detailed application form keywords, Commerce and Accountancy, IDAS, Indian Defence Account Service already serving, and cooking desserts, Taekwondo games and science fiction, animal welfare, Jaipur, and time 35 to 40 minutes. Right? Let's see. And the chairman says, so how are you feeling? See, we both share somewhat similar names. So maybe the same name hoga, something like that. Then which school of Taekwondo do you follow? So can you name some Indian martial arts and compare them? Why did you go learning Taekwondo only and not for Kalaripayattu? Kalaripayattu Kerala, but Taekwondo. The difference between Jujutsu, Karate, Judo and Taekwondo. See this. Jujutsu, Karate, Judo, Taekwondo. And USA is talking about imposing 25% tariffs on all steel and aluminum imports. What is the way forward? What is the way forward? And not only way forward for India and Europe and China, because these are the three places they set, right? And tell them separately. Trump is saying that we will generate employment for imposing tariffs. Do you really think this is going to happen? And last time when Trump imposed a tariff, he said 70k jobs will be created. But data showed that only 2kp, that is 2,000 jobs were created in reality. So what do you think about the exact relationship between tariffs, economy and employment? Tariffs, economy and employment. A long monologue on animal feeding and human-animal conflict, and asked about the exact solution to the problem of human-animal conflict. So this is a major issue which we have been also going through it. See, okay, fine. So then if someone asked me to donate feeding animals, should I do? Even when there are so many incidents coming up, animals attacking humans. Is sterilization is way forward? Isn't ethically wrong? How one species or humans can decide about sterilization of other species? What about the consent? What is the real model on which NGOs are working? Are there any working for revenues? Say some NGO ask me to donate money for them to and threaten consequences if we really don't give the money. So this is common, right? If I don't. So that's the thing, question comes in the next page. And what should I do in that case? The cause which they are not asking for money and good and ethical. In general, cats before hota hai or dogs bedil hota hai. So in Hindi. And what's the science behind these behavioral differences? Sir narrated the story about his neighbor that he always complains that his cat roams around here and there and never listens to him. And she goes and comes back and her own. Sir asked me the behavioral reasons behind this. So that's really quite interesting, but it's like domesticated animal also behave like that. We can't help. Then it's member 1. So what member 1? Long monologue on Companies Act 2013 and how corporate social responsibility CSR was made to part of it, and asked how CSR has revolutionized the finance system in our country. Tell me any 2 technology related schemes in which you can use something like CSR to arrange funds. As a finance expert, how will you make sure the prudent use of these funds? What are the provisions of CSR in Companies Act? What is the exact amount of CSR generated by India? Exact amount generated by India by the companies. Is it enough as a secretary, corporate affairs, What changes you would like to bring in Companies Act? It's a situational question. Tell me the detailed procedure of defense account service and follow the procurement. What are the provisions regarding capital versus revenue acquisitions? Capital versus revenue acquisitions. Any changes you wish to really suggest in the process? Mention three big steps by government for promoting research and development in the country. Research and development in the country. National Research Foundation. National Research Foundation. So can you think any method raising finance for R&D just like CSR, research and development? Okay. So what changes in research arena you suggest? Level of research and development and or innovation in defense accounts and anything new happening. So number 2 is a lady. If you are in a cooking competition and you are asked to make a dessert, which dessert will you make? Difference between Indian and Western desserts. Also tell the difference between cooking methods used. Calories in gulab jamun and trans fat. What are these? Science behind these and tell me name of the one trans fat in Hindi which is the most commonly used in India. So that's Vanaspati ki long discussion on use and issues. Uses and issues because like there are lots of controversy about Vanaspati also. What is the methodology behind naming a tropical cyclone? See, இது சம்பந்தமே இல்லை but it has come. List of nodal agencies for naming and how India chooses its names. And chairmen are asked, are these names gender based or gender neutral? Is there any methodology to decide names according to gender also? Hurricanes, typhoons, cyclones, difference between their geographers. So this is there, like geography experts and geography people, they know about it. It's a location based. I don't know how this person answered it. Then, do you know science behind Hawa Mahal? What is Venturi effect? Can you list some other architecture where this concept was applied? Hampi architecture unique features. Look East and Act East policies. In which periods these were launched and the difference between them? Why Act East policy? Your views on its effectiveness till now on relations with ASEAN and development of Northeast. Do ASEAN or China also have such policies of looking somewhere, acting somewhere? Looking somewhere and acting somewhere. And that is number 3, it's again lady and you are in IDAS. Your service deals with so many informal works and parties and lower levels like takedars, etc. What are the rights available for those informal workers and parties? And specific rights your department has given. Specific rights your department have given to these people. To these people. Expenditure management at lower levels in your service and how it's done. Tell me provisions of Atal Pension Yojana, APY. Nowadays, a new kind of epidemic is emerging that is called loneliness. Tell me 2 age groups where you can find this problem of maximum. That's I mentioned 50 plus age group and adolescent age group. What steps will you take to improve this situation? Tell them separately both demographic groups mentioned apart from banning social media, right? And how funds will be arranged for Indian AI mission. How funds will be arranged for Indian AI mission. So next is number 4. You are in from commerce. Tell me why accountancy even needed for government and administration. How states are doing in public finance management, which states are doing good and which are lacking behind. And TEPA, SEPA, FTA, what's the difference? So we also don't know about it. Then finally, What is the rationale behind economic partnership? Rationale behind economic partnership, USA versus India in terms of trade and what's happening and surplus or deficit. With China, trade is tilted or balanced. What should India do to reduce the deficit with China? Is defense indigenization really happening or buzzword? Is Make in India failed program because most of the time we are importing the parts and assembling here and putting the made in India label? And Europe versus China, what are the issues and trade technology? Trade technology. So that's all. And Chairman sir said, yes, nice talking to you and your interview is over. Right. So thank you very much. We will take up some other script in the next video. Thank you very much for listening this transcript. Thank you.
வீடியோ உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருந்தா லைக் பண்ணுங்க, ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க, சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க, கமெண்ட் பண்ணுங்க, பெல் ஐக்கன் பிரஸ் பண்ண மறந்து போயிடாதீங்க. அப்பதான் நாங்க போஸ்ட் பண்ற வீடியோவோட நோட்டிஃபிகேஷன் உங்களுக்கு வரும்.